Afternoon, early evening even. There is some sun here. Can you see in the background? A lot of clouds as well. I'm a little bit concerned at the minute. Had the radio on earlier, and they were talking about Unite the Kingdom. Big march that's been going on Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon, was it? Tommy Robinson's march, all that kind of gang, tens, hundreds of thousands of people walking around London on Saturday marching because apparently the UK has been eroded and the left are trying to control the narrative and the world. And here's one thing that really interested me. Tommy Robinson was interviewing Elon Musk. SpaceX, Tesla, owner of Twitter, X. I can't call it X, it's still Twitter. It's been a year, 18 months, it's still Twitter. But Tommy Robinson interviewed Elon Musk the other day. Now, bearing in mind, you've got a lot of angry people out there for various reasons, and you have a lot of people standing up and trying to do something about it, mainly marching, a bit of rioting, but that was last summer. But Tommy Robinson interviewed Elon Musk over a big screen, and one of the questions he asked him was, do you believe that there are unelected officials out there, powerful people who are trying to control the media and what people have access to and free speech? Duh. That's what I thought. Now, you could almost say that he was describing Elon Musk, would you say? Would that be plausible? Unelected? Powerful? Trying to control what people read and see on media? Unsurprisingly, Elon Musk answered, yes, I can see that being the case. Funny that, isn't it? What else could he say? Do you think he genuinely doesn't understand that Tommy Robinson has just described him? I think most people would say that, wouldn't they? Even if you were a big Tommy Robinson supporter, you would probably say that, yeah, sounds a bit like Musk, that. People of that ilk. Rupert Murdoch's another one. In The Sun, he's been doing it for years, hasn't he? Controlling the narrative, deciding what goes into papers and what doesn't. Powerful people, billionaires, multi-billionaires, or do they call them multi-billionaires or bulti-billionaires? I'm not sure. Is bulti even a word? But anybody sat in a chair watching that would go, actually, you've just described Elon Musk there, but Elon Musk is actually warning everybody that there are people out there trying to do what he's doing. Do you not think he gets it? Do you think he really doesn't see himself as that person that he's trying to describe? Or do you think he's going down the Donald Trump line of, it doesn't matter what I say, what I think, it's what comes out of my mouth that people will listen to? Do you think he genuinely doesn't see the similarities between himself and who he's describing and who Tommy Robinson's describing as being the enemy? Because that's what they're doing. They're saying that these people are out there and they are the enemy of the people. And they're the ones trying to limit free speech. I don't know if he is. I don't know if these people are so warped that they just don't. Surely they see it. Surely they do see it. Do you reckon? I don't know. It just baffles me that. Another train in the background. It baffles me that these people go out there warning you about people when you can justifiably say, well, that's you're describing. You. That's who. You're describing yourself here. So why do people believe it? Where's the end game with this? Where's it going to go? Do they want... It was, what was he saying? Fight or die? Fight or die. So all these British patriots are supposed to fight all this, fight against all these people controlling the narrative in the media, these unelected billionaires like Musk. But they've got to fight against those other people that obviously aren't Musk. Or die. You'll be swallowed up by it all. And all these people are lapping it up. They're not all that daft, surely, to God. Surely they're not. Are they? But it worries me that all these people are being animated and that they're all being motivated to stand up and come out and march against people like Musk, but not Musk, who are trying to control their world and leave them worse off. But people are being motivated. But isn't that worrying? That people are... What's going on in people's heads? What do they think's happening to them? What are they prepared to do to stop this potential thing happening to them? How far will they go? Now, we've had this thing a couple of days ago. Charlie Kirk, some guy that used to, big ally of Trump's, who's come along and he was shot and killed, unfortunately. Wife and a couple of young kids. I've actually seen a few Charlie Kirk videos on YouTube earlier. They've started appearing in my algorithm. So I've watched a couple, and the guy's a debater. From what I hear, there's a lot of horrible things that he said. But those that sit in the fence will say, well, at least he goes out. He might have certain views, but he'll at least go to the Oxford Union, universities in America, and he's well known for actually debating with people in a civilized manner. Whether, debating like that is supposed to help people change their minds and help people decide when you've got counter arguments sat over either side of a table. But he was a big follower of Trump. Now, is he one of these powerful people? I believe he was relatively rich. He was on the payroll for MAGA, for the Republicans, for Trump, for the White House. And obviously somebody's come out and they've shot him and killed him, sadly. Should never come to that. But was he a spreader of mistruths? Hatred? I know he does a lot of it. A lot of what he says is based on... He's a Christian. He goes through what's going on in the Bible. He uses that a lot in his arguments. God-fearing man. Using the Old Testament and New Testament to help hammer his points home. Train. But he uses this. He uses his arguments. He's got his faith. And his faith is a big part of who he is. And I think one of the biggest issues with all of these people, the Robinsons and what have you, it's about migrants and Muslims and everything else. And the Muslims are well known for being strongly religious people, but that's a bad thing though when you're a Muslim. You can't do that. If you're a Christian you can be strongly religious, but if you're a Muslim you can't. But either way, all these people are out there and they're all spreading messages. They're all telling people that somebody's going to come and get them, and people are believing it. But I don't. I'm not on social media at the minute, so I hear little snippets of what's going on. But it's a worrying time, isn't it, when you've got all these powerful people saying all these horrible things, which is generally making people move to one side or the other, the left or the right. It's just creating a big division everywhere. People don't need that. People don't need that. People don't need to be divided. It's like everybody's setting themselves up for a big end game, a big war or something like that. We don't need that, do we? They're going to fight over oil, water, the climate, rare minerals, which they need obviously for computers and things. But somebody's got skin in this game, and there's lots of people who've got skin in this game, and they're playing the long game with it. And I don't want to go along suddenly disliking my neighbour because he's got a Union Jack flag draped out of his window. You don't need to fall out with people because they've got a Union Jack flag, or an England flag, a flag of St George. But it makes people do that, and lots of people are falling for it. So I guess we've just got to sit at the sidelines and watch how all this plays out. I don't like seeing it all, to be honest with you. I like to zone out from it, but you can't ignore things when tens or hundreds of thousands of people are taken to the streets. But we'll see what happens with that. We're now in September. We'll see what happens. I'll speak to you soon anyway.